Welcome back to the Waterboyz podcast. This is season 2, episode 4. And you know what? Today, we're going to go with no guest. That's a surprise. But we just have Grant here. Grant. We're going to listen to some of Grant's stories later on. But first, we have some stuff to discuss. And let's start with the Kadri Binnington situation over in St. Louis, Colorado.
The West Marchand.
Yes.
Does it even matter? Colorado's going to pull away on this one. Blues are putting up a good fight. I'm surprised they got one so far. But at the end of the day, Colorado's going to take it. Bennington's going to be back next season, nice and healthy. But that wasn't a call on Kadri.
No, I don't think so. Binnington, you got to feel bad for Binnington, though. He's done. Yeah. He's ruled out for the series. Playing really good. He's battled a lot ever since his phenomenal 2019 run. He was not to be rude to him, but he was sucking so bad that he lost his starting job this year and then started to heat up. Grant's word, and then he got so good that he was keeping St. Louis in these games, and it's unfortunate.
I got two things to compare it to. First, with the situation with him and Husso, it reminded me kind of like in Pittsburgh when Fleury started to get joked around there a little bit whenever he lost his starting job because he was playing on the down a little bit. And then look, he goes to Vegas and now that happens. And I just feel it was the same with Binnington. He was starting to struggle a bit, but then like a good goalie does, and like Jack Campbell, like that too with the playoffs, he came back strong in the playoffs and he's carried his team this far.
Every good Disney movie has that valley before the peak at the end,
and
that's just what this is in Bennington's career.
Yeah, and then it reminds me of, you remember the series New York Rangers, Montreal Canadiens?
Yes.
When Chris Kreider took out Carey Price, and they basically said the series turned around at that moment on Montreal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this reminded me of too.
Yeah, for sure, but Kadri's, I don't think in the fault here.
No.
And I don't think it was anything wrong with what he did. I think Kadri's having a phenomenal year. Yeah. And just because he's done a few questionable things in the past, people are just like, well, it's Kadri. Just throw him underneath the bus, or water. He's done. Just write him off. And these death threats that he's getting and the police had to step in, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair for him. Because it's not like he purposely just said, screw it, I'm going right after him and just full tilt in the
Well, you said it yourself, Taylor. If Bennington was 2 feet over, he's getting hit by a Blues player.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Kadri.
Yeah.
You're not judging Kadri on this one.
No.
You can't.
It's his
He's
past.
going for the puck.
Yeah.
It's a loose puck. He's going for the puck, and there's a defender right there. I don't think this is not an unusual hockey play. You're a hockey player. Your job is to go get the puck.
He's clearly trying to stop, and as you mentioned, it's if Binnington's 2 feet to the left, it's a Blues player hitting him. It's just because Kadri's on the left and the Blues defenseman's on the right. They got tangled up and they went into him together. And it's just his past. Everything is based on his past right now. Because look, he was a borderline All-Star this year. He had to be a last man voted in. With the year he's having, he should have been I don't know how it worked with first ballot or what it is, but he should have been there without having to be the last man voted in. And even the coach, even the Blues coach, after the game, they're like, "Do you think it was intentional?" First words out of his mouth: "Look at his past. You tell me if it was intentional or not." Yeah.
But at the end of the day, no offense to the Blues, they put up an impressive win there, and they've been holding them to a little bit. They've been holding their own, but at the end of the day, this Bennington leaving will really change the series.
So do you think that it's now over in 5?
4-1.
5. Yeah.
I think Colorado's just going to take these next 2 games. So
it's not that I think Husso's that much worse than Binnington. I just don't think even with Binnington you're looking at a big series.
No, I thought it was going.
We weren't before.
No, exactly. It's a loss, but Husso played really good this year too. Whenever Binnington wasn't, so it's not a game changer.
And this is just the team that lost before the Mighty Ducks won the championship in that movie. It's just, you put up a good season, hang your heads high, but...
So we'll see what happens. But the other series in the West, the Battle of Alberta, we had another situation after Game 3 last night.
When will we not have a situation after one of these games?
It's just a little bird of beef,
Yeah. Now this one, Mike Smith goes behind the net. It's not actually in the net like Binnington. Mike Smith goes behind the net to play the puck, and Lucic,
That's
stops,
Mike Smith's MO, though. He plays the puck.
Yeah, he stops up a little bit and then just goes into him. Now, me personally, I didn't agree with the call last night, but after watching it again,
I don't 100% disagree with the call. I think it was probably right for the situation of the game because Calgary was no-shows. The game wasn't going to get tied. And if Lucic stays in, the referees are just dealing with a big old shit show later on in that game.
Yeah.
So I think it was the right call in the moment. If he faces a suspension, though, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a suspendable play.
No, I don't think so.
No,
not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Especially because Smith came back, too. It's not like Smith was gone for the rest of the series. He came back for that game.
Especially if Lucic wanted to charge him, he could have just full tilt right into Mike
he
Smith.
pulled up about 2 feet away from him.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to keep in mind, too, the size of that man. Lucic isn't known for his skating abilities. It's not like he was going to be able to curve right quick and get around. And
Not
like
really
Lucic,
just stopping into the quick
he's going straight, and that man's a freight train. You can't stop a freight train.
So, to direct our attention away from these goalie situations, there's only one other thing we need to talk about. Calgary's big boys not showing up, and McDavid just carrying the Oilers. Like, this is insane. It's literally McDavid versus the Flames right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, look, Evander Kane got that hattie yesterday, and it was all McDavid setting him up. McDavid with the spinneramos and the puck in between the legs. It was basically, he acted like it was his goal almost.
I saw a guy on TikTok this morning who was like, I can't even do that in NHL. This guy's doing it in real life.
Yeah, it's insane. It's just, McDavid's back to McDavid. Like I said earlier this year, I don't think McDavid was playing like McDavid, commanding the game and taking over the games. I think this play, ever since these playoffs, he's got that look in his eyes that just is like MJ type thing. All right, we're not losing. I'm putting us on our back, or I'm putting the team on my back, and I'm taking us all the way.
Evander came with a natural hattie yesterday, and Zach Hyman scored a goal, and all of the McDavid was pretty much the setup man.
He
took all the responsibility.
He's got 23 points in 9 games, or 24 points in 9 games.
No, it's something else what he's doing right now, and also you gotta say though, Calgary was no shows in the game yesterday.
Oh, Calgary was nowhere to be.
No, they weren't even in the rink.
Yeah, no. They were.
Shots were 22-9 after a period.
19-7.
19-7.
And after period number 1, and they outshot them. I don't forget what the final shots were, but they outworked Calgary all night. And the thing is, they broke it down last night. They're trying, you don't have Chris Tanev, who's very good on the rush defending. So you're trying to always look and check behind your shoulder to see if McDavid's there, because if McDavid's there, you have to go to him. You have to give him the attention that he's gonna need, because if not, he's probably gonna make you pay.
Yeah.
And if you don't cover, and then if you do go to cover him, then they have a wide open opportunity either way. You gotta take the risk, I think, and not go and double team McDavid every second that he's out there.
And even when he doesn't have the puck, McDavid's putting in all the work.
McMagic.
Yeah, let's see. Evander Kane had a hat trick last night. Didn't McDavid assist on every single Evander Kane goal?
Taylor said that it's insane. He's just insane.
Well, that goal that he got to get the hat trick for Evander Kane, that was the one where McDavid did he spun around, the puck went between his legs, and he picked it back up.
No one else in this league can do that.
No.
But to go for a hat trick on the hat trick of assists is just
he's just insane.
And all Oilers defense has to do is just get it up to him.
Yeah, well, and you
just
see
a precision pass from the point.
One of the goals Kane literally scored on, McDavid's not even looking at him. He's peeling off and skating just past the glass, not even reacting to the goal, acting like it was his goal almost. Because without that move, it pretty much was there was no goal.
Sometimes hockey the assist is better than the goal.
Yeah.
I think Game 4 is going to decide the series here. It's either we're going to have a good series or Edmonton's going to pull away and we're gonna win, and they're gonna win this thing.
I still think you're looking at Game 7.
I think Calgary's big boys need to show up.
There'll be a wake up. Daryl Sutter is just too good of a coach, and that team's too good to not not react and not
But you're
respond
missing,
accordingly.
they're missing Chris Tanev, and it's showing big time.
Yeah.
It's showing big time.
I'm still taking McDavid here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Edmonton Oilers. I'm taking McDavid in this series. McDavid's winning it.
You and Alphonso Davies both confident in the Oilers.
Yeah. You know what? It's happening.
Yeah.
And
They're going to the Western Conference Finals.
yeah.
To get pumped up by the Avalanche.
Yeah. But in the East, it's really kind of boring.
No, I don't think it's boring. I think it's interest. I think the Rangers Carolina series is interesting.
Yeah, you got one interesting and one disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very disappointing.
Like I get what you mean, like boring games. I don't think that they're as entertaining as like the West. But the series is close.
It's just
It's
because
a close game.
we're in Canada right now, and it's the Battle of Alberta. We haven't heard anything but Battle of Alberta. Every other series is just kind of on the back burner. You can see
Yeah.
the highlights, but everyone's focused on the Berta Bound.
Fair point.
Well, I mean, you also have another battle going on here, Battle of Florida. and
Which is
that's-
the most disappointing thing ever.
Yeah.
You got one team getting pumped, and
Yeah.
one team doing the pumping, and it's going to be a quick sweep.
Kucherov's got 7 points in 3 games. Stammer has 6 points in 3 games, I think. And Hedman has 3 points in 3 games. Now, for the big boys for Florida, they have like 1 assist for Huberdeau, I think. 2 assists for Barkov, or
Well, they haven't scored a
flip-flop,
goal in one.
and Ekblad has 0 points so far.
Yeah.
And like yesterday's game, they just scored their first power play goal of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell happened to this team. The President's Cup, trophy winners. Like this, you're the best team going into the playoffs, and like, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting.
Can't score more than a goal in any of the first 3 games of the series. I mean, like,
Come
Vasilevsky's
on.
good, but like you said, other President Cup trophy winners, the big guns. Like,
They scored 9 goals like 3 times this year. Like,
Yeah.
they have to break out.
What was the regular season series, do you know?
I forget what the regular season series was between these two, but I think that there's a different level to Vasilevsky in the playoffs, and it just shows like why he's the best goalie in the world.
Yeah.
That three-peat mentality.
Yeah, like he's the only, like, I don't know, this team. I said before the playoffs that they're probably gonna three-peat, and my prediction's coming true. It looks like it's coming true. I hope it doesn't, but I think it is. So we'll see what happens. But I think this has been the biggest letdown of a series in terms of what we thought was gonna happen, because I thought it was gonna go to Game 7.
Yeah.
Still could, but quite the turnaround is going to be needed for that.
Oh, 100%. It's not going to be hard, or it's not going to be easy for the Florida Panthers to crawl out of this.
No.
This one's going to be a sweep.
Yeah.
Well,
Can
you're
we
paying
also
Serge-
shed a little light on the how Sergei Bobrovsky's getting
Yeah,
paid
you're
$10.5 million
yeah, you're
for
paying him-
what exactly?
Yeah, like, put Spencer Knight in the net, maybe. I don't know. That might help,
Yeah.
but Sergei Bobrovsky's just not getting the job done. Like, 10.5 million or 10 million for this guy, like, I don't know, man. It's
Those are carry price numbers, and you ain't getting near carry price stats. for those
production.
numbers,
Yeah,
no.
no, it's sad to see. I think that this is pretty sad.
Yeah,
but
Florida just needs God right now.
They're pretty.
Panthers.
It feels like they've been around for a while, their core, but when you look at it, they're all still pretty young.
the
Yeah,
only one
so
that's
it's-
needing something happen here is Claude Giroux, and he waived his no trade clause to go to Florida. So I think he's gonna be pretty disappointed they get swept here.
Yeah.
Another old body for Toronto to sign this offseason.
Now P.E.I.'s very own Jared Gallant, who was actually just nominated for the best coach in the NHL, to Jack Norris, I think.
Jack Adams.
Jack Adams this year. Had some choice words last night for Canes defenseman Tony DeAngelo.
You know what? Good on you, Glenn.
Good on you, Clarence. Yeah.
I mean, it was this play at the end of the game, and they took a cheap shot at one of the Ranger players, even though they were losing. The game was over, and Tony DeAngelo was speaking up, and I guess Jared Gallant just did not enjoy that. Took quite offense to it, I guess, and in his post-game presser said, we have the guys to match that, and if they want to play that way, we can play that way, and I'll just send them out there next game, and we'll let them go at it.
Let's see. Let's see what D'Angelo has to say when Ryan Reeves is matched up against him next game.
I think that's everyone knows that's who he was talking about.
Oh yeah.
So no one else on that team, I think, that would even come close to what Ryan Reeves is going to do to Dean. I think Ryan Reeves has one job next game. Dre Gallant looks at him and says, the only way you're getting ice time, buddy, is if you go out there and you take off D'Angelo's head.
Yeah, and it's like basically in that whenever Calgary and Dallas played first round, the Stars were trying to chip a Kachuk and get him to like drop the gloves and take away from his more scoring style of game. Very next game, who was on for the first line or the very first face for the game, it was Lucic and Jamie Benn. And you can really see Lucic going like, if anyone's going to fight in this series, it's going to be me.
Yeah. It's obvious, and it's playoff hockey, so.
I like to see the physical side come through for sure.
Oh
yeah. Igor Shesterkin, he's keeping the Rangers in this series, I think. The Canes are a pretty damn good team, though.
Pretty damn good to still be winning like this with Anderson on the IL and Andy Ranta in the net.
Yeah, Ranta's actually played insanely good,
Yeah.
I think, in my personal opinion. But I think that's it for NHL wrap-up talk. I think that the second round is going good, but by this time next week, I think we'll be looking at the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Like,
Who do you got in the finals?
I think Colorado and I think Edmonton. I really do.
Your West? East?
Yeah. And, well, actually, no, I'm going to change that. Calgary. I'm going to still believe in Calgary.
You get the Flames.
Okay, so we're going to go Avs, Flames, and then we're going to go Canes and Tampa. I think that's it.
Was it before the episode that this guy was still back in the Oilers though? Over here?
You were.
Yeah,
that's
I heard some words over there with the
That's
Oilers.
him.
Still believe it.
No, I'm back in the Oilers all the way through.
Yeah.
In real life and on this episode. It's going to be Oilers, Avalanche. No doubt about that.
Yeah, respectable.
No doubt about that. The East?
East is wide open. Well, Tampa Bay.
Tampa's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying Rangers here.
Rangers is fair. I think Rangers. What about you?
Lightning Rangers, Avs Flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lightning Rangers, Avs Flames.
I think Avs Flames is the best matchup we can get.
Yeah.
I don't think the Oilers have anything for the Flames.
No. What is the news on Tanev too? Just out the series games? What's
right now, I did not see an update on him. Like, no. I don't think that there is. I think it's day to day, to be honest, but I don't know exactly if it's day to day. But I don't know if he'll be back before. I don't think he's. I'll put it like this: I don't think he's ruled out for the series, but I don't know if he's coming back.
No, yeah.
So.
Well, you know what? When the Oilers win this thing, I'm buying 2 Oilers jerseys. Y'all are gonna wear them. But you know what jersey I'm not buying is a Dallas Mavericks jersey right now.
Why?
This is kind of embarrassing for them.
Why?
They're gonna get swept by the Warriors.
Who else is on that roster other than Luka Doncic that you can name?
Not really.
But, and
That's a low
where
ball.
did he? Where? No, it's not. Because where did he take him?
Yeah, he took him deep. But like, I'm just saying, it's just embarrassing for Dallas.
No, it's not. This is such a huge stepping stone for Dallas.
Okay.
Because you have this 23-year-old superstar.
But after
Luka
that
Doncic.
last series, weren't you at least expecting a win for him if you're coming from that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
You take out the number one team in the NBA.
I think they're gonna get one.
I think they're gonna get swept here.
Yeah.
No, I really don't. I think that they're gonna get one, but if they do get swept, then they get swept. I just don't think it doesn't matter if they get swept though. It's still a huge stepping stone. Before this season, Dallas Mavericks haven't won a playoff series since they won the championship back in 2011. Then you go to the Western Conference Finals this year, and Luka Doncic is leading your team. Now, obviously, you're gonna have to go into free agency and get some pieces to put around him because you don't have. This is literally like a old Cavs roster with LeBron James and nobody else. Like the 2007 team that he took all the way to the NBA Finals with nobody else on that team that you guys can name, and I can't name either. So
Was Kyrie there?
no. So I don't think this is anything to hold their heads on. Luka Doncic is unreal. He's playing unreal. It's just the Warriors are a better team.
Yeah, well, they're favorites to win their 4th championship in 8 years. And like I said, I think they're running it back this year. They have all their chips in one basket right now because the way those guys' age is getting up there.
Yeah.
They want to make one more big statement before probably the twilight years set in. Yeah.
Well, they also have really good rookies too, and James Wiseman, who's not even back in the lineup, won't be back for this year. So they still got some energy, I think.
Well, if CP3 has taught us anything about NBA players, is they age like milk. So now's the time.
I think that we're gonna see the Warriors be good for a couple more years, but I think this is gonna be the year that they're gonna win it again. I don't think any team's gonna step in their way.
Well, it's up to Boston or Miami. So who do you think's taking it? I'm still with Boston here. I'm still with Boston.
Miami, like I said, Miami. I think before this series started, I think Miami was gonna take it, and you know what? It's really sad because every game, it just seems like one team comes out great, either Boston or Miami, and the other team just forgets how to play basketball because they're all blowouts. And then the last game just got close at the end. Like it was a blowout the whole game, and then Boston was just bringing it back slowly. They didn't bring it back all the way, but I just don't find this series as interesting.
No, it's kind of. I don't think any one of the conference finals is as interesting as people were hoping.
No.
None of the 3 teams except for none of the teams other than the Warriors have the big 3. Like the Warriors have Draymond, Curry, and Clay. Mm-hmm. Whereas Miami, you're looking just at Adebayo and Butler. You go to Boston, you're looking at Brown and Tatum. You go to Mavericks, you're looking at just Doncic. Maybe Spencer Dinwiddie's in the conversation a little bit. But the Warriors are really the only team left that has a big 3. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows that a big 3 is what it takes to win a championship in the NBA in this era.
Oh, yeah. Ever since LeBron was in Miami in the 3 Musketeers days.
You need 3. I don't think you can win with 2.
Give it to the Heat, though. I'd love to see Larry get another ring before he's done. If he can come back and stay healthy, I think the Heat might have a chance to give that.
He's back in the lineup.
But stay healthy. Yeah. But I think if he stays healthy and you got Larry, Adebayo, Butler, and Hero all available for the finals, if you make it there, I think they'll give the Warriors a run for their money. Do I think they can beat the Warriors? I don't know. But I think it's going to be a better series if you get Heat Warriors.
This Miami team's just slept on, I think, a little bit. I think they're underrated. I mean, they went to the NBA Finals back in 2020 in the bubble. I guess, everyone says it's the bubble season, so it doesn't really count. Mm-hmm. But I do think that it does count, and that this team is actually underrated compared to what people think. It's a good team. I think that they have a good shot of winning the NBA championship. There's a reason that they're the number 1 seed in the East. So I think that Miami is an actual good team. I think that they're going to win. I think that they're going to win in 6 games.
Yeah, Boston's come back from it before, and I'm saying they're coming back from this one.
What do you think Boston has to do to come back, though?
Stay healthy.
For sure. Yeah, stay healthy.
Yeah. They're dealing with a lot of injuries this series because wasn't Smart out for a game and they're still missing their big man.
And Robert Griffin III. Yeah. They're just banged up. It's this time of year that you're banged up. So
the good news is though that they're not out a long time. I think every player that is injured is a day by day thing. Mm-hmm. So they're just kind of, if they can get healthy for game 5 and 6, they'll give the Heat a run.
So we have to move into the MLB and talk about how the Blue Jays can't beat the worst team possibly in MLB history, and they can't score more than 3 runs against them.
Yeah.
A 3-game series, and none of the games they got more than 3 runs. It was 2-1, 3-1, 3-2.
Yep. They're pretty damn awful right now. No. They're not bad, but it's
22 and 18 after what was a hot start, not losing a series pretty much in the whole month of April. Yeah. And now it's just no one expected coming into this year that the Toronto Blue Jays were going to lack offense.
They need their big guys just Bobichette got 2 homers the other day in one game, and maybe that will be a wake-up call for him and get him going.
That's what we said after his grand slam.
Yeah, Matt Chapman needs to get going. I think that's who needs to get going here. You brought him in, you signed him to a 2-year extension. I think you brought him in for his defense, obviously.
Yeah, but
you
his
brought
bat's
him in
not supposed to be this bad.
Yes, you brought him in for his power as well. So I just think the Blue Jays need him to get going here.
Yeah. And like I said, at the start of this season, no one expected offense to be the Jays' issue right now. It was all pitching. What's the rotation going to look like? Because as we know, the Jays' whole life story over this last 10 years has been pitching. Mm-hmm. And now your starting rotation is finally doing its job, getting you in games, keeping you in games. Your bullpen is not the best it's been in past years, but it's also not that bad.
No.
And your offense has just been the storyline over the season. Like, look who we're assembling. Yeah. And right now, it's just... And, I mean, we still have plenty of games left to play.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just not exciting baseball for Blue Jays fans.
40 games into the season.
That's the thing about baseball is, like, every team's going to have a valley here. It's just how long are you going to stay there? And you know what? It's not going to be that long for the Blue Jays because you got Springer, you got all these guys behind them. And it's going to be a nice hitting rotation here when they show up.
They should show up here soon.
I'll tell you who's looking good on the defensive side of the ball, though. The St. Louis Cardinals. They're going to start having their bat boy just pitching. They've gotten everyone on the mound.
Did you see Yadier Molina was pitching yesterday?
That's what I'm saying. You got Pujols the other day pitching, throwing just some far sliders.
He's got, I think they clocked it at 54, 58 miles an hour or something like that.
You know what? We're bored. Let's throw the catcher up there. He's seen how many games from the other side of the plate? Let's just throw him up on the mound.
It was a big, like you said, it's a big moment because, he's seen how many games from behind the plate there. Like, for the first time ever in his, 18 years, he's going from behind the plate to being the guy throwing at the plate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think these Cardinals are just fun to watch. I think they're just an entertaining team. Like, you're throwing a catcher out there. They're like, let's get the fans going. Let's throw a catcher out there.
They're the Ric Flair of the MLB right now.
Yeah. And guess where you can watch them play tonight? Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be so fun to see that tonight.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays will be interesting. I think the Cardinals are probably top 5 team in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
And I think that there's nothing slowing them down. There's one other team that I think is better than what I expected them to be, and it's the below average Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
The Angels usually just go 500, I would say, on an average season, or just below 500. But this year, they've came out good,
you know
surprisingly good. Well, you got Mike Trout.
Mike Trout's healthy.
Mike Trout's healthy. One of the best players, if not the best player in baseball.
3 days while he's healthy there.
And then you have Shohei Ohtani, who's also... They have the best 2 players in baseball, I would say.
Anthony Rendon's there, too. He's playing good.
Yeah, and so I just think this is going to be interesting. And the Angels, I hope that they have a good season. I'm saying it. But... we'll see what happens. We need to move into some shocking, breaking type news now. The St. John Sea Dogs have fired their head coach, haven't they?
Gordie Dwyer is out of the port city.
We'll see ya. We'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you when we see
A, why is he gone? B, why is he gone just before the Mem Cup? C, why is he gone after a first round loss? That makes no sense. It has to be off ice stuff.
D, why are you gone after you took them on a 13-game winning streak and then a 14-game winning streak in the same season?
This guy built a team to get you to the Mem Cup and play well. They were going to be there anyway. Show well in the Mem Cup. Not get pumped.
It was literally, he held them there long enough in the first half of the season when they weren't that great. And then they sold the absolute farm, they sold the city, they sold the whole country to get the team they had in the second half of the season.
There's no more St. John.
No, they're almost in the same boat as the Islanders, who don't have a first round pick or don't have a pick until the 9th round this year.
If this is the year.
It's like they put all in, and like you said, 13-game win streak, 14-game win streak. He did a phenomenal job of coaching this team in the second half.
Yeah,
and they choke in the first round to Rimouski.
I don't think it's his fault.
No,
I think it's the players' fault.
Rimouski played great.
Yeah.
With one of their star players, they played awesome. They took Quebec out of a game. They made Quebec go to 4.
The goalie, like, for Rimouski,
their goalies were terrific.
Yeah, like he's
going to be a star player in the NHL.
But what, 40 shots I think they had up on him to 16 for Rimouski, and they still won.
And they won 1-0.
Like, that's the goalie's fault. You can't blame that on St. John. No. Coaching.
It's not Gordie Dwyer's fault. Gordie Dwyer is a fantastic coach, a fantastic guy. When he was with the Rocket and the Islanders, he did a great job. He was still an awesome coach then.
So this is going to be interesting to see who picks him up in the Q.
I think...
Or does he go to the NHL?
No, Q. I think he's come back to the Q. But I just think... the story I read, it was the ownership. They said they needed to change the blueprint. But how many times can you shake it up?
But, okay, here's the thing. Why do you change the blueprint after a first-round exit that's a month away from the Mem Cup?
Yeah, you only have so long to practice for one of the biggest games of your life.
Yeah. This is the biggest tournament in the CHL. This is everything. This is all the marbles.
You have a week. You have a week to play and have a chance to win something that probably 95% of junior players will never even get to see that tournament in their life.
Yeah.
And you get rid of your head coach because of a first-round exit. Yes, it's disappointing. Yes, teams have wanted to change the voice in the room after something like that. But it's the biggest tournament. And he did such a good job down the run. The team might have choked in the first round, but that doesn't mean it's all the coach. And like you said, you have a month to prepare for this.
How do you, like if you're a St. John player right now, what's your feeling? Cause
that locker room's in shambles.
I would be like, I'm heartbroken. Like, I just got stabbed in the back. Like, why just fire my head coach?
And for me, the only logical explanation for this is off-ice stuff by Gordie. Yeah. So, and if that's the case, this locker room's going to look even worse.
What off-ice stuff could that even be?
Well, we're not there.
We're not here to speculate.
I personally just think this is a first-round exit, and they were so pissed off that the front office just said, all right, so... It's really...
As more details come out, we gotta...
It's a wow moment for the Q. I think that... St. John is not going to be ready for the Mem Cup, I don't think, now.
No.
Because you have to... This new head coach, which is speculated to be UMB's long-term head coach, will become the intern head coach of the St. John Sea Dogs, is going to come in there. Whole new strategy. Whole new game plan. Everything about the culture of this team is going to change because coaches like to change it to their way. And it has to change in 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks.
It's not enough time at all.
I think they're going to lose every game at the Mem Cup.
The Mem Cup
and
starts.
This is all on organization. This is ownership. This is not on the players. This is not on Gordie. This is ownership. They screwed up. And they're going to pay for it in the Mem Cup, I think.
Like I said, they're hitting that big red button. Things just fell apart on them after they sold the absolute city, farm, and country all on this 1 year and this one run. And now, they have a month to prepare. The Mem Cup goes June 20th. And, like you said, I don't think... They might show up with a game, but a team doesn't do this and win a cup. No.
Maybe if it was at the halfway point they fired him, then yes, okay, they can prepare. We've seen St. Louis do it, and they were the worst team in the NHL. I mean, they went on to win the Stanley Cup, but they fired their head coach in January, not 2 weeks or a month before.
The All-Star breaker.
You know what I mean?
At least wait till after the Mem Cup, unless like you guys were saying, unless this off-ice stuff, something big did happen.
Yeah,
but. At least hold out to the Mem Cup. Don't try and shake up too much because maybe, like you said, it was just a fluke or they choked. And there's been teams in past history that did lose in the first round and the host team came back and they won the whole cup.
Yeah.
So maybe the first round exit's just a complete joke and a screw up. But there has been history where that team who did lose in the first round came back and won it in their home city.
There's only one other thing we need to talk about before we let Grant tell us some stories. Some story time by Grant Harrison. We need to say Wednesday and Thursday night. This will be a Wednesday afternoon. The Islanders are going to play Sherbrooke in the Western...
Semifinals, baby.
Oh, yeah, the Western Conference, I guess. No, they got transferred to the Eastern or to the Western.
Ah,
because they got reseeded.
Oh yeah,
That's because of this QMJHL reseed. I hate that, but anyway. So now they're in the Western Conference, and they're playing Sherbrooke, and they still get to be home.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I understand this playoff structure like I understand chess.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, same.
1-16 was much more fun to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that.
It was to save money though, travel and all that stuff, but that's not fun.
I think that Sherbrooke is gonna put up a good challenge. I think that Sherbrooke, honest to God, have a chance of winning this series.
Hey,
if I'm being honest.
It's going to be
to give the Islanders a run for their money.
It's the Phoenix. It's going to be the toughest series the Islanders have had, and I got a quick message here from my fellow Islanders, guys. It's the QMJHL semifinals. It's P.E.I. It's the Islanders.
This is heartfelt.
We got to fill that barn. The Eastlink Center's got to be rocking. Come out, support your boys in black and harvest gold, and let's show these Quebec guys what it means to live on Prince Edward Island.
We love it. And I love how you went official with the harvest gold. But let me tell you, after that game, you know where you need to go. Hunter's Factory, John Brown's Beer Garden. Because let me tell you, they got the meal deals, they got the drink deals, they got the live music, they got the beers, they got the liquors, they got DJ downstairs at the factory, they got DJ country upstairs. You know, that's the place to be. So shout out to Hunters, shout out to Factory, shout out to John Brown's, shout out to Beer Garden, and shout out to Hunters at the Foxy. I might hit up there after I hit up some 9 holes this week because I got the week off. So, let me tell you folks, shout out to Hunters. Head there for some Phillies after the game.
Yeah, I think a couple Islanders going there as well, so it's even supported by the local Islanders.
There we go, yeah.
So, you might even catch a few of the boys there. Have some whiskey sours.
Game one.
Yeah.
Not after game one.
Not after game 1 or 2.
Jim will have that group pretty hounded down, I think, for the first couple of games. But
like I said, if these boys put up a fight and sweep this team, woo, get the whiskey sours ready at Hunters.
So I think that the Islanders and Sherbrooke, Phoenix, will honestly go to game 5. I wish it was game 7, but it's only going to be game 5 because of
I think that's one thing I don't like about the finals and the semifinals and the finals is the fact that they did. I can understand a best of 5 in the first round. I can understand even a best of 5 a little bit in the second round, but you get to the semifinals. All the dub and the O, they're both still in the semifinals, and they're all best of 7s.
You've caught up to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You've caught up. It's time. Make the semis the best of 7. The finals are a best of 7.
Yeah.
But the semis are still a best of 5, which I don't agree with.
They need to make this best.
No, you're all caught up.
You caught up to the O or the WHL has played games 1 and 2 in the semifinals or the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals, and you're just gonna start game 1 here Wednesday. You're caught up.
Well, that's like you said. A, you're caught up. Make it a best of 7, and B, get rid of this Wednesday and Thursday stuff. Come on, Friday, Saturday, open it up and allow the team to have a chance to fill that barn.
Yeah, because Wednesday, Thursday, you're just not. I don't think they're gonna sell this thing out. In my
guys,
opinion.
$4 beers and $10 tickets for students Thursday night. Make sure you hit that up.
And you know what? If you keep your ticket from the Islanders game, you get into the factory for free.
So there you go.
Student night.
But other than that, I think we need to switch the tempo to Mr. Grant Harrison right here.
Alright, so we freshened up our waters here. We are the Waterboyz after all. Justin, Taylor, what do you want to know?
I want to know, first of all, why you claim that you were a Summerside Capital
Because
for 3
I
days. No,
I
you weren't.
was a Summerside Capital for 3 days.
But you had to try out. You didn't make it past the
Yeah,
try.
I was a training camp. I was a training camp for 3 days.
So how are you a Summerside Capital for 3 days then?
You know what? I got the practice sweater. I was there in the locker room. I was there with the boys. I ran 5K for them. I'm taking that as a dub.
You ran 5K for them?
Yeah. So, first day was really fun. Show up there, and, you know, we're going around the tables, like, introducing ourselves, and, you know, I'm hearing, like, oh, Moncton Flyers, shout out to them for winning the Dallas Cup. Another one of a million that they already seem to have. But, you know, they're going around the table, you know, major AAAs, there's a few old Q guys there, you know, some other NHL guys. You know, I'm just like, Grant Harrison, I play in the penalty box, and bad house league hockey in Missouri. That's my last team. And then Pat says, you know, all right, boys, let's put on the training shoes and let's go for a run. And I didn't know we were running. So had to go out the back door, find my jogging shoes, and then come up, stretch with the boys, and went on a 5K run with them. And it was I was winded after we got to the pier there in Summerside.
What happened after this 5K run?
Oh, I was gassed, man. And then
Gassed?
yeah, we get back to the locker room, and I'm just like, I gotta show the boys that I'm a locker room beauty. You know, I'm for the boys. So I was like, you know what? I've eaten this wax before, this Howie's wax before. Mom,
Howie's wax.
yeah, Mom and Dad, you don't need to listen to this.
Well,
episode.
taste test.
Well, the first time it was
So this was
Pee-wee
just
hockey.
to win the locker room over, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I'm not making this team if I don't have the boys behind me.
2 hours into it.
Yeah. You know what? After that run, I was like, I don't think I'm making this team. Off skill alone. So I gotta show up.
Now you said you ran the 5K with the 5th string goalie, I think you told me about.
Oh, this guy, I don't know where he is now, but whoever you are, I forget your name. But for those, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of that 5K run, you were my best friend, man. We both had asthma, and we were just all the way through.
Wow.
All the way through. But get into the locker room, and I've eaten the Howie's wax before, 2 times before. First time in P.E.I, second time in high school. You know, because I was just
Got
like,
a very good timeline of these taste tests.
yeah, because the first time I was like, man, this smells really good. It smells like blueberries.
Alright.
I wonder what it tastes like. No, it just tastes like a candle. And then the second time, the boys didn't believe that I had eaten wax. So I was just like, oh, well, I gotta like do it again. Now I never like swallowed the wax. I just like chewed it, like put it on the tongue, and I was like, I swallowed it, and like spit it out later.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I gotta go all out for the Summerside Capitals here. This is about to be my team. I'm about to bleed red and blue.
So you're in the locker room there.
Yeah.
Tell us all about that scene. The reactions, how it went,
I was like,
how it tasted.
I was like, boys, this stuff smells pretty good. Hey, these guys have played hockey their whole lives, and they're just like, yeah.
We've
like, what are
seen
you
Howie's
talking about?
wax, kind of, yeah.
So I just take a huge bite, like good old Oreo-sized chunk out of this thing. I just start chewing, and the boys are just like, what? So I'm just like, you know what? There's time to go, and it's here. So I just swallow the whole thing. I'm just like, yeah. And we're just like, let's go out for a skate. So.
Now, how loud did the locker room get after they saw you had actually swallowed it?
Oh, it was a shit show.
They were behind you though, weren't they?
They were back me, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay.
I never asked them afterwards, but I'm sure it was just like, you know what? This kid's got the locker room stuff. Let's see what he's got.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm not making this team unless I fight. You know, like, I just kind of want to see what I got.
Yeah.
So I go up to Billy and I'm like, hey, we both know why I'm here. So who can and who can't I fight? and he says, "If you touch anyone with a white helmet, I will kick you off the first day." So I'm like, you know what? Deal. So I go out, and everyone's wearing a white helmet except for 3 players. So
what color was your helmet?
Oh, it was black.
Yeah.
Slim pickings, eh?
Yeah, all these boys had been signed to the Capitals before, so I was like, you know what? They already got a helmet. I'll let them be and get their roster spot, and maybe I'll see them at Kensington if this doesn't work out. Yeah. So I go up to the biggest guy wearing some blue CCM helmet, and you know he's about my height, but he kind of looks like you, Taylor. You know, just kind of stock and kind of, I don't know, pencilish. No offense. I was like,
guy.
Hey,
Crossfire for now. Little drive-by in the stories.
I was like, hey, you want to go? He's like, takes one look at me. He's like, hell no. So I'm just like, this is going to be a long day. So go up to the other 2. They don't want to scrap. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's start seeing what the white helmets are saying. So I just go up to all of them and I'm just like, hey man, I'm not making this team unless I fight. So that was the end of the first day. Didn't end up getting one.
Didn't throw the mitts down?
No. So day 2, oh man, we get on the line and I know exactly what's coming next. You know, Billy's sitting at center ice, blowing his whistle, feeling like Herb from Miracle on Ice, I'm sure. But, oh man, I was just getting gassed by everyone out there. You know, I got Josh McDonald and all those boys who are just won that President's Cup and, oh man.
Not President's Cup.
Canadian Tire Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Gotta get my facts right.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I was just getting beat by them. And I was like, this is gonna be a long day. So, I kept thinking of when I walked into the place the first day, and the trainer was like, "Oh, you're here to help out?" And I was just like, "No, I'm here to try out." And he's just like, "Man, I thought you were a linebacker when you came in here." So I was just like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a while." So, you know, we get done with the wind sprints, you know, the suicides, and I'm just like, "All right, time to kick it into the game I know best." So go back to Buddy in the Blue Helmet. I'm like, man, you got to throw me a bone here. I am leaving tomorrow if I don't fight. I know I got 3 days here to prove myself. And he's just like, no, man, piss off. So I don't know where he is now. I don't know if he's playing with him or what, but yeah, he didn't want to go. So
No.
Worked my way through the black and blue helmets again, and nobody wanted to go. So 3rd day we scrimmage. And
This is your first scrimmage, right?
this is my first scrimmage. This
First
is
taste
Summerside
of-
Capital.
Yeah.
First taste of game action on the ice up in Summerside.
Oh yeah. And Billy's getting ready to drop the puck. And he says, you know, all right, here's the lines. And he goes through, and I'm on the 4th line for the gray team, which is the team that is to be looked at, instead of the blue team, which will be playing for the Summerside Capitals.
Yeah.
So, 3rd line, 4th line, gray team. You know, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to grab the first left winger I see for the gray team and say, sit your ass on the bench because I'm coming out here first. So, just like Ryan Reeves, I line up and Billy's like, what are you doing out here? And I say, you know, Billy, just drop the puck. Let me go. So I'm giving Buddy a bump. And I'm just like, let's go, man. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. And he just skates away. And I'm just like, oh, man, come on. So, you know, he's first line for who's going to be on the Summerside Capitals, whoever he was. So he just hooks past me, and I'm just like, well, time to back check. Time to actually play some hockey. And, you know, I thought I did pretty well. My position was pretty well.
Forecheck, back check, paycheck.
Yeah. I got a few tips. I don't think I scored a single goal in that scrimmage. I don't think I got an assist either. And if there were actually refs there, I might have gotten probably like 8 penalty minutes.
Not bad. Not bad stats.
Been to the sin bin a few times.
Yeah, you know what?
So what happened there with the one player? I remember you said you were talking with him back and forth, and he was debating going with you, and then just didn't happen.
Yeah, I tried chirping him. Because, I said, well, being the nice guy of just, trying to get people to fight, that isn't going to work. So, how about I just be the a-hole here? And kids watching this, do as I say, not as I do. Don't do that. Be nice. Play hockey. Don't try to fight, because Billy won't like you. Just go out and try to fight.
Don't touch the white helmets.
Yeah, don't touch the white helmets.
So what happened?
Oh, I was dogging him pretty hard. It's not rated for YouTube of what I said, but I was, giving him pokes and, kind of just poking him in the corner a little bit and just trying to get him mad. And so he just skated off. And I was just like, oh, come on now. Don't do that. So I see him go into the corner, but I see numbers. So I'm like, I can't hit him, but I can let him know I'm there. So I come into the corner and press him up, and we're digging for the puck. And, he's going pretty quiet. So I'm like, come on, right now, man. Right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. And he just skates off again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I'm actually trying to make this team. F off. So I was just like, all right. You know what? It's been a great 3 days here. And so come off the ice from the scrimmage. And the guy's just like, all right, take your handbook. Pat and Billy want to see you in their office. And I know exactly what's coming. So I'm like, you know what? Pat and Billy can wait. I need to get comfy first. So I take my tops off, take the skates off, take the socks off, put on my slides, grab my handbook, and I'm just like, well, this is the last time I'll see this. So walk into the office, throw it down on the table, and I'm just like, so, Junior B, eh? I'm just like, I need to get the first word here. I'm not going to let them tell me I'm cut.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them know what's up.
Yeah.
I was like, so, Junior B, Kensington practice, that'll start soon. And Pat was like, yeah, we'll keep you in the loop. Thanks for coming out. I don't know if he was shocked a little bit or that I was just ready to go.
Wow.
You knew what was up?
Yeah. I was just like, you know what? I can say I tried. And that's all that matters.
Speaking of that, and looping back, how did you find out about these tryouts and what made you go up to Summerside to give your hand at the Capitals?
Yeah, so I had just gotten sober. And I was like, you know what? This is my overage year. Why not try junior hockey? I played high school a little bit, and I was just like, all right, so if this is my time, this is my time. And I don't want to be sitting in a bed when I'm 80 and being like, oh, if only I tried out. So I was like, why not go for it? So I forget how I found Pat McKeever's phone number, but I was just like, you know what, give him a call. And so I was like, you know what, let's meet at Tim's. I just want to talk to you what I can bring to this team. And so we meet at Tim's on North River Road here. And I'm just like, man, I won't be your Gordie Howe. I won't be your Wayne Gretzky. I won't be your Sidney Crosby. But I will be your Marty McSorley. And he goes, all right, sounds good. So he was like, you know what, first day of training camp's this, come on out and we'll let you know from there. So typically you get 3 days. And I got 3 days. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There's the Summerside story. Now moving into your next story, you played a little bit of rugby.
Oh yeah, still play rugby.
Still play rugby.
Here, P.E.I. and Mudman.
So what's some stories from there?
I gotta say most of the stories come from back home with the Kansas City Blues Sevens Club.
Mm-hmm.
So my pop played rugby back in the 80s and 90s. And So when I was a kid, he would, throw the ball around with me and we'd watch rugby. So that's why I first fell in love with it. But I never played rugby until the summer before coming to UPI. Because I played football all throughout high school. And I loved football, but it was just the injuries for me. So I just took a long break from that and said, I still want to play a college sport, and I love P.E.I, so why not make UPEI rugby happen? So I knew I needed to at least play rugby before I tried university level rugby.
Yeah. Before you went AUS right off the bat.
Yeah, so I joined a club back home, and good group of guys. Like, one guy there played in the MLR, Major Rugby League, and, he was great to look up to at practices, but we were at a sevens tournament in Tulsa. It's called the Margaritaville Sevens Tournament. And that was a fun time. But I'd say the highlight of that, not a highlight, but probably the funniest story, is we had just played 3 games that day. And we were about to play our 4th, but we had a nice little break in between. Now, the only food around was a snow cone truck. So I was like, I can't have a snow cone to refuel here, and I had gone through all my meals that I packed.
Just eat some good old shaved ice a bunch right onto the field.
So, as avid fans of the Waterboyz know, we got our glizzy review here. I can sniff out a hot dog from a mile away. And there was what I thought to be a birthday party over there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to position myself by this birthday party. And they got the hot dogs going.
Wait, so like just some kid's like 10th birthday, and you're like, hey man, you want to hook me up one of those rotisserie dogs down on the grill there?
I'll get to what it actually was. So they were like, we got extra hot dogs here if you guys are hungry, and I'm just like, this is what I came for.
Yeah.
So I found back one dog, and I'm just chewing on the other, and I'm just like, oh, so whose birthday is it? They're like, oh, actually our grandfather passed away. This is his wake. So I was like, just so shocked. I was just like, I'm eating your food, and you guys are here, like, celebrating a life.
And you're over here just...
And I'm just bumming hot dogs off this field.
I got, like...
What a guy.
Somebody's, like...
Well, at least it was a cooked hot dog.
Yeah.
I got, like, mud all over myself from the games, and, like, I think I got, like, a few cuts and bruises, like, so I'm just kind of, like, bleeding a little bit, just all over here. And I'm just halfway through my second dog, just found out it's a funeral. And I'm just like, oh, sorry to hear that. And I just run off.
At that point, what's going through your mind? Like, I gotta get out of here.
I was like, oh, I'm the biggest a-hole ever.
Sorry for your loss. Do you have any mustard?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just like, you know what? We got the Tulsa number 3 team, 7th team here, so I was just like, you know what? I got a big game to focus up on.
Well, we're sorry for whoever's lost that is, but...
Yeah. I still feel bad to this day, but...
Oh, I would imagine.
It was some good hot dogs.
It probably
Some
was
good-
some
some
great
good
hot dogs.
My dad said he was looking for me. He was like, I wonder where Grant went, and he just sees me in my tank, rugby shorts, and boots eating a hot dog.
So when did you sniff this thing out from like far away and realize, oh,
No,
there's
so
a
that's
hot
the
dog
thing.
in the area?
That's the thing, is like this park had like 7 rugby fields. Like it was a decent rugby park.
Okay.
But it was an actual park too. So there's like a playground and like the barbecue and like the pavilion and all that.
So there wasn't like an actual funeral home around. These guys were just
No.
in a park, like
They
just
were,
having
like-
a family gathering.
They were having a family gathering.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
You know, kind of decompressing after the
Yeah.
funeral. So, you know, I think I added some humor into it.
Brought a little bit of light to
You
the
know,
situation.
I think, I like to think that they don't think of me as a D-bag, but like more just like, remember that time that fat guy came over and just started eating hot dogs at our funeral?
They offered it. They offered it.
Yeah,
Rude to turn down.
They were the ones that offered.
Yeah.
They were the ones that offered. It was just like me and other props just like sitting by the hot dog stand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't turn
Just-
away a hot dog.
Yeah, we were just looking conspicuous.
So we'll fast forward a little bit. What other stories have happened in rugby that,
Well,
you know?
I'm still a part of these teams, so we'll keep it PG. But I remember I was out for our Dalhousie game in my second year because I had gotten a red card the week before. So I was like, I'll travel with the boys and,
just watch the game from the sidelines.
Just go for the support. And so I had packed some adult sodas with me. And I said, bet you won't eat that blister for 2 beer.
Eat that blister?
Some kid had a blister the size of a tootie, and he just peeled it off.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
What rugby stuff is this? This is not rugby. How's this a rugby team? How do you eat blisters? Call yourself a team.
It's team bonding.
That's team bonding. That's some pretty messed up team bonding.
Dirty.
That's the way it goes. Just wash it off,
For 2 beer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We need something to wash it down with.
Yeah, those beach chair lagers.
36 pack to get that taste on
Yeah.
Those beach chair lagers are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
I just know. I get you though with that. That's like a team bonding thing right there. That's it's just one of those like, hey boy, bet you won't do this. Like give it a good old dare, and then everyone's. It's like with the wax you were saying there.
Yeah, I just gotta let them know I'm for the boys.
Yeah.
He was like, he's for the boys. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
For a cost though. You just did it for nothing.
Well, I mean, if you score your first try ever, we do this thing. It's called a booty, where you just pour a beer in a boot and you have it. So I was just like, it's not that different than drinking out of someone's rugby boot.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It's pretty different. It's pretty
Nice.
different.
Honestly, I don't know which one I would. I'd probably prefer the blister of drinking out of someone's sweaty ass rugby boot.
I don't even know.
Oh, it's the rugby boot for me.
Yeah.
I'm not eating skin. Yeah,
Even
but I was
more,
out.
That's a bad choice.
Is it your rugby boot or someone else's rugby boot?
It depends.
Oh, yeah.
Depends what your captain says.
Just thinking about that. That's no. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Because I've seen UFC fighters. There's one guy there who does a booty.
Shoey.
Shoey is a shoey after.
I like those. Those are bad, but
Yeah.
drink it.
A rugby boot, because you know how sweaty and dirty that thing can be.
But I was out because of that red card, and I was like, you know what, might as well make the best of a bad situation.
We're there for fun. Yeah.
So you have a little bit of fun, but you play a little bit serious rugby too. You play for the Mudmen here. You play for P.E.I. now. What's your favorite moment from rugby?
Favorite moment from rugby? Oh man, we were playing UMB this fall. And I'm a finisher, as Lee Reed would say. I'm not a substitute, I'm a finisher. Good old Lee Reed. And so I go in about the 60th minute, I want to say. I'm like, I got 20 good minutes of rugby here. Give Jacob Ticcarelli a tap on the back, say, played a good game, I'll get you from here. And, I get the ball on a lead pass, and I just truck this guy from UNB. And I'm just like, you know what? Keep those legs driving, and I take it back about 15 meters. And that was probably one of my best carries in this last fall, and probably one of my better carries in the last 4 years of rugby about.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was just, from that moment on, I think rugby just clicked. And that's the most satisfying thing about rugby, because it's a game of avoidance, it's a game of, precision and passing. And once it clicks, it's so fun. So fun. Because
So you have sports that click like rugby, but you also have a couple other sports that don't click. Now, what sports are those that don't click for Grant Harrison?
man, I hate basketball. I would much rather play basketball than watch. Probably.
But you played basketball there in what was it, high school you said, or elementary, or which one was it?
Yeah, I played on a YMCA basketball team.
Yeah, there you go.
I was a star on the purple team. Man, I had the tearaway pants. I had the and one shoes, the black and white and one shoes. I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll throw it up on the screen. But man, I could cross over every one of those shoes.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dude, I was a big guy in the paint.
Oh.
But my brother was coaching one of the other teams for his like high school volunteer hours. So he was coach for the other team, and I don't think we were playing that team. Yeah, he was just there with the family. And I get the ball. I didn't even know I was shooting for 3, but I just swished the thing. Just nothing but net. And I just keep running all ears. Yeah! But in YMCA basketball back home, there's no 3-pointers. It's just 2s all the way around. Because they don't expect 8-year-olds to just go deep and sink one.
Pull up from 3-point range.
Yeah. But I just got the ball. I was wide open, so I was like, you know what? That's like 10 feet I gotta run in there, and I gotta avoid people. So I was like, let's just shoot this thing. Let's just nailed it. That was probably one of my favorite sports moments because I didn't even know I did it.
The heat of the moment, all the adrenaline pump.
Yeah, I was just an athlete, man.
But what other sports have you done that just hasn't clicked your way?
Oh, man. A lot.
You played a bunch of sports.
Yeah, so I've done wrestling, track and field, basketball, hockey, and rugby, as you know, football. I'd say wrestling. That just did not stick with me.
No?
Yeah. Man, back home, we will get the hottest summers, and it's just so humid. And our wrestling coach would just put us in this gym that had no AC on. It had AC, but he never turned it on. And I had to go from like 300 pounds in football season to 285, which isn't that bad of a cut.
No.
But when you've never cut before, oh man, it's not fun.
No.
So I just had to worry about it at the beginning of the season. And then not really the rest of it, so I'm somewhat lucky. But oh man, wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt in that hot gym and like taping the wrists and the ankles just so you could sweat it all out.
Yeah.
I hated that sport.
The final thing we need to discuss, and the biggest sport I think that he has stories in, I think, is football. And I think we have to go there, and we have to wrap up this podcast with some stories about some football that you had.
Some good old football.
This guy's the cheater, right? You're Tyreek Hill. That's your game for that?
Dude.
Oh, 100%.
He's fastest on the 40-yard.
Yeah.
Running 4.2.
Okay, so little background. My football team in high school, we won the state championship in 2006. But I didn't play.
That was way before your time.
I got to high school in 2014. So those glory days were long behind us. And throughout high school, we get 10 games a season. My record, 1-39. Yeah.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah, we were passionate. We still stuck around. But let me tell you, those were some long days there. Especially in the summer, just like, man, this is another 0-10 team.
Might as well turn the scoreboard off.
Yeah. So...
Is it just recruit? Like, you just can't recruit in high school? Like,
yeah,
you
can't really
get
recruit
lucky.
in high school there, so you just got to get lucky.
All right, though, but take us through that 1W.
That 1W. Oh, man. I was kickoff return. That's all I played.
That's all you played?
It was my second year, man.
Yeah. So they were like, we can't trust you yet. Like, you got to earn your spot type of thing.
Yeah, we got some big old guys that were ahead of me in their senior year. We got, like, Levi Marley, what's his name?
So you guys had some pretty good guys, but you still went 0-10?
Yeah, for the line. But man, our quarterback was terrible. We had the superintendent's son.
Just throw your quarterback underneath the line.
We had the superintendent's son on the football team. So it's like, well, we gotta put him at quarterback. We gotta at least start him.
Like the janitor's son?
He can't, the superintendent's son. The superintendent of the whole district. Yeah, so like, this guy's dad is like big boss in town. So, he was like, he can't catch. He's too small. He'd get killed on the line. He can't kick. The only thing he can do is somewhat throw it. And he didn't really have a good spiral either.
But why wouldn't you just put him in a kick return or something? Put him back
No,
there.
you gotta start him. Otherwise the coach is getting the boot.
You think?
Oh, I'd say so.
High school sports is a lot of politics.
It's a lot of politics.
Yeah.
So it was just like, we had a good offensive line. We had some receivers that could catch. The defense was okay, I'd say. We could stop a few teams. So, like, that first year and even that second year, it was like, we weren't getting blown out, but we were getting beat. So, because we just couldn't score.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, man, some of the play calls, too. It'd be, like, 3rd and 1 on our, 15, just in the red zone. And we'd call, some, 10-yard slant route. It'd just be, just run it up the middle.
Yeah.
We got a good running back. Just punch it in. Get another set of downs.
Throw.
He went for too many of them Hail Mary Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, dude. I remember just sitting on the sidelines. I wasn't even sweaty because I wasn't even playing my first year. And I just remember seeing that ball go deep, and I was like, there's a pick. And sure enough, some guy from Maryville just bossed our wide receiver. Just ran it back.
There's a pick.
Yeah. So
is that what you thought a lot of times, or?
Oh, I remember that one vividly, but that was the main thing. Yeah.
There's a pick.
Yeah. So junior and senior year, I remember playing a fair bit. And, man, we were terrible. We were so bad. We had, a freshman at guard. We had another senior at center, but he couldn't snap at all. He was terrible. And he couldn't block either. Our A-gaps were just terrible. Our quarterback was getting sacked every time. And, oh, man, the right side of the line, nobody there. Yeah. I don't even remember who they were. I think they were just the biggest kids in school. We were like, let's just give them football pads and see what they do. But they couldn't move at all. So you had 2 okay linemen protecting a quarterback.
So you guys won state championship back in 06, and then you go to this terrible state of football in 2014 to 2017 or 18.
We were better at soccer.
Oh, that's bad.
Coming from Cameron, Missouri. That is not what you want to see. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah. So we were just the laughing stock of the school, and it sucked. Because you lose so
usually the football team's the big dogs of the school in America.
In America, yeah. They actually get football.
We were getting bullied in high school. We were stereotypical. Wearing our varsity Letterman jackets, and we were walking around like the big dogs. We would just be like, "Hey, you're losing again this week." And be like, "Yeah."
Got me there.
The band kids were just like, "We're the talk of the town." People would show up at the games and then leave after the halftime band performance because our band was so good compared to our football team.
That's bad.
Man,
That's bad.
They considered band a varsity sport in my senior year.
Oh.
That's how bad our football team
They were stuffing you guys into the tubas.
Do you pay attention to them now? Are they decent or what?
You know what? I love my hometown, but I can't bear to even see how they do. It was just bad, man. And we got beat by Maryville 143 to nothing one year. It was just so terrible.
How long were your quarters?
What?
How long were your quarters?
Oh, dude.
143 to nothing.
They
didn't have run time?
I didn't even know our scoreboard went that high. No run time.
No run time. They're just pound it.
So we went in at halftime to a score of 63 to nothing.
Oh.
What does your head coach say during that?
I was just
He was
laughing.
canned. We went through 2 different head coaches. So after my second year, our first head coach got the boot. And we were just like, all right. We saw that one coming after those play calls. And then second year, not second year, so grade 11 and 12 year, my junior and senior year, we got this another head coach. And he was just, oh man, I hated this guy. It was straight up 45 degrees Celsius. And we were running wind sprints all day.
Nice.
This was the week after that Maryville lost.
Nice.
Yeah, we were running wind sprints all day. And so our freshmen were in charge of filling our water cow. And our coach goes up to the freshman locker room, and we hear it in our locker room. He says, "Don't fill the water today." And it was like, dude, it's 45 degrees outside. And our practice field is 250 yards long with a hill in the bottom, with a hill in the middle. And we were just running 250 yards, tweet, 250 yards, tweet, 250 yards, no water for like 2 hours.
In full gear?
In full gear.
Ooh.
And he said, if I see one person unbuckle this helmet, we're starting back from zero.
Wow.
Yeah. So I remember, I was like,
pretty rough. I quit.
Oh, dude, it was like the Marines, man.
Like, if you're like, I can understand maybe if you're like a top team and like you guys just get like you play like dog shit.
Yeah.
But if you're going 0-10 each year and you're getting pounded 163-0, I would look at the basics and say, let's try and pass a football. Or let's try and run a football.
Let's get all these guys in a circle and just throw the ball around, see who can actually catch and throw.
Hot really? Potato guys.
Yeah.
Like, why are you like? Why are you trying to like
kill a kid with heat stroke?
Yeah, like if you can't even get the basics down, like what's the point of doing that?
So I was running, and I was like, at least get to this hill, you know, and then I can like jog a little bit, because then I'm like out of like eyesight-ish, you know, and then I'll start picking it up a little bit, and then like that black circle starts closing in, and I'm just like, no, and I'm just like, oh shit, and I just black out. I just pass out right in the middle of the field, and I just wake up, and it's my mom and my dad and our trainer with an ice pack on my head, and I'm just like, whoa, you know, and I just had a heat stroke, I guess, because like, yeah, no water, 45-degree heat, humidity. That field was like mud.
Did any coach or any parent have a problem with the coach doing that? Or?
So, my mom's a pit bull, and like, she doesn't sit quiet. So I don't know what happened when I passed out, but when I woke up, everybody was done running.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I never asked my mom what she said to my coach, but I know she said something.
Yeah.
I know she wouldn't sit quiet. I love that woman to death. And, you know, she's not sitting there and just seeing her baby boy sitting at a shade tree with an ice pack on his head after getting heat stroke, no water in sight. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? We'll just forget about football. And then I got that Team USA offer. Went to Italy. And that was pretty fun.
Yeah, take me through that now. What was it like playing in Italy?
Yeah, so signed up for this recruiting website. And I was like, yeah, let's go to Italy. I got the letter. And coach from Jim Barnes, he coached at Augustina, which is some D2 school, I think, in Illinois or Iowa. That's Quad Cities. So I was like, yeah, let's go to Italy. You know, if this is my last year playing football, you know, at this point I was committed to P.E.I. I was like, why not as well, like, play with an actual good team. So went to Italy, and man, I show up and these guys were really good. You know, so USA football, there's like an A team and a B team, and I was on the B team. The A team plays like Canada and China, I think, in football. Don't quote me on the second one, but yeah, they play really good teams. And then
China's really good at football.
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
I know they play Canada.
That's surprising.
Yeah. So they play 2 games, and then
I wasn't expecting
yeah,
that.
No.
it's called American Football Worldwide Elite that I played for, and they go to Ireland and Italy, and you can choose if you want to go to Ireland, Italy, or both. And I just said, oh man, I want to go to Italy. I love the food. I want to see the food there. So get off the plane, and you know, we're talking to the guys in the airport, and we fly from Chicago to Atlanta to Italy, and we arrive on Easter Sunday in Rome. So that was wicked. Yeah. You know, seeing the crowd there and seeing the Coliseum and stuff. And then we work our way up to Milan, right next to Switzerland. So we got to go to Switzerland for a day. But we would practice in the morning and tour every city we were in during the day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And we were playing like semi-pro and like U18 teams in Italy. So we got really good competition and stuff. And like I remember going up against this guy, and he was just a giant. And I was like, he was like probably like 6'7", I want to say, and just 350, just built like a refrigerator. I was like, man, how old are you? And he was like, how do you say that? 27. And I was just like, yep, that's how you say 27. You got it. So
good job, buddy.
Yeah, you nailed it.
You're gonna kill me.
Yeah. Oh man, I was like, as long as I can get low, that's all I need here. I just won't get pancaked. And I think I held my own against him, but man, he was strong. For him, full strong. And so, you know, I was like, man, when we threw this Saturday night, I'm having some Peroni beer and some grappa. So on the team bus, we had a few bevies. You know, drinking ages 18 there.
Yeah, so
it was pretty fun.
I imagine.
Got to play the Italian national team, beat them like 73-0.
Ooh, yeah.
So I finally got a taste of victory. And
A QB could throw a spiral.
yeah. I remember I was like a pulley guard on one play. And this defensive end for Italy sneaks through. And I'm just like, I'm going to ear hold this guy so bad. I just level him. And I'm just like, oh man, it's so nice to play on an actual football team. Yeah, but we were in the restaurant that night, got the cake, and our team trainer was like, Grant popped his cherry today. He got his first win.
He's not 1-39 anymore. 2-39.
Actually played that game too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice.
Well, I think we're just about done here on the Waterboyz podcast for episode 4. Having Grant of our own. If you guys enjoyed this, please let us know in the comments, because we are interested in doing more of this, and Grant can tell some more stories that he has from his past. You can like and subscribe on YouTube and follow along there as well, and press the bell to let you know that when we post. Then you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Waterboyz Official Podcast or Waterboyz Podcast. And you can go check us out on Instagram as well for the Waterboyz_media account, where we're covering local island games. And other than that, Grant and Taylor, actually, you're the interviewee this time, so we're going to let Taylor send them out.
Alright guys, like and subscribe. We'll see you later.
Cue the music.